Hello, everyone, and welcome to the premiere of Daggerheart, Broken Spine, The Broken Spine. I'm Jeremy Hochhalter, the host here on the channel, and we're going to do some quick introductions. But before we do, I just want to shout out Ovani Sound, who is the who provided the music for tonight. Armadillo Dice, who provided me with the dice that I'm rolling tonight. Thank you, Carley. And I feel like and Hero Forge, because we made our awesome minis, except for Cort, because Cort is a mushroom fellow who we could not get to work with Hero Forge, but maybe in the near future. So thank you all. We're going to dive into Daggerheart, which is Darrington Press's new, currently being beta tested TTRPG. Really looking forward to this. I think the whole crew has been excited for the last couple of weeks, as we have been since we did our session 0. So speaking of the crew, why don't we start with introductions? We'll go with Triss. Triss, why don't you tell us who you actually are and then about your character?
Yeah, of course. So I'm Lauren. I'm playing Sylvestris, or Triss, as she'll be called throughout the game. She is a wild-born giant guardian, standing at about 12 feet tall, not counting the antlers. So, as far as myself, excited to be playing this. I've played a lot of other TTRPGs, but not quite like this. So, excited to see what happens. Yeah.
Awesome. Next to Triss is Cort. Why don't you introduce yourself, Jason, and your character?
Spoiler, I'm Jason.
Oh, I shouldn't have said anything.
I'll be playing Cort, the 2.5 foot tall fungal rogue, who is trying to make sure not to get squished by Triss, who is way, way, way too big to be around. You just can't see me down here.
Can ride on my shoulder.
He'll take you up on that. But yeah, he's going to be a fun little character to play.
Nice. Awesome. Next to Cort is Jim. I'm not going to spoil this one. Jim, tell us who you actually are and about your character.
Hi, my name is Ed, or Neuromaster on Twitch. This evening I'll be playing Jim, who is a Simia half-clank seraph, who lost his life in a recent accident and was reincarnated as a seraph, a winged sentinel. I've done a little bit of games with Wanderer's Haven before, mostly one-shots, so I'm stoked to be doing something with the promise of some continuity, and I'm just stoked to be playing with these lovely people and trying out Daggerheart.
Excellent. Above Jim there is Grace. Grace, why don't you tell us about your real person and then about your character?
Hello, I am Maggie. I work in film and television, and I also play a lot with Lauren and our wonderful GM for the night. I will be playing Grace Halbert. I am a highborn human sorcerer who is working to get her reputation back up. And you may get a lot of references from pop culture throughout the evening.
Yay!
Forgot about that part.
Nice. I suppose I should say I'm Jeremy, and I'm playing Gnots, the Goblin Ranger, with her cat Kuvun. Really looking forward to doing some Daggerheart. Carley, tell us about yourself, and then take it away.
Yeah. Hi, guys. I'm Carley Steichen, and also known as Armadillo Dice. I make handmade dice, but more importantly, I play games here on Wanderer's Haven. This is my first time GMing on Wanderer's Haven. Not in life. I GM a lot in life, but it's my first time here on Wanderer's Haven. I'm very excited to dive into Daggerheart. I've done a few one-shots, but I'm very excited to do like a fledged kind of campaign, like they've like it's kind of built for. It's what it's made for. So let's do it. Yeah, I'm ready to bring all of you into this wonderful game and this wonderful world that we built together, because that is a function of Daggerheart. So we built this world together in our session 0, and I'm excited to bring you all into it.
So I don't want to interrupt, but I really feel like we should do a contest on the channel. If you can guess which area of the map I named, I will give you something. I'll give Libby a treat. Okay.
Of course, the dog gets rewarded.
Right.
Yes.
For my immaturity.
That was a hint. If you didn't catch that, that was a hint on the names. Anyways, welcome to the world of Ia. And today we find ourselves in the region known as the Broken Spine. It is known for its massive mountain range that runs the entire range of the continent from north to south. Now, our characters come from a wide range of places in this country, but they've all found themselves gathered together in the eastern city of Shield Harbor. Now, they recently finished up a job for the Adventurers Guild there, and so they find themselves currently at the Adventurers Guild house in the middle of the city. They've turned in their paperwork, they've turned in their proof. They're currently just, waiting for payment, having a drink. It's the Adventurers Guild house. Of course, there's a tavern, food and drink in the middle of the place. They're adventurers. That's what's going to happen. So we find our characters currently in the Adventurers Guild common room. Now, I would like... Let's see. Who do we want to start with? Yeah. Let's start with Grace. Grace, if you would please describe what your character looks like and what they're currently doing in this common room while they're waiting for their payment / drinking and relaxing from a hard finished job.
So Grace is a tall-ish, not as tall as Triss, obviously, but slender human woman with dark hair, pale skin, bright blue eyes. And she's wearing very dark clothing and makeup. She has very eccentric clothing on, very almost celebrity-like, like she's about to put on a show, or a performance of some kind. Like she's always ready to be on. And she is she looks kind of like she's looking over her shoulder a lot, but oddly relaxed at the same time. So, yeah.
So, as we turn away from Grace, we'll go with the character that she mentioned, Triss. What do you look like, and what are you doing in this moment as Grace kind of glances around while she sits in her chair?
I think Triss, given her size and then also the antlers, is probably just sitting cross-legged on the floor at the table so that they all can fit at one table. Drinking from a tankard that Cort could use as a swimming pool. And probably simultaneously having to pick him off her cup and be like, stop, don't get in there. But I think she's just kind of hanging out, enjoying the bustle of the city as she's unused to it.
All right. Well, keeping with theme, we'll go to the character that was mentioned next. Cortinarius. What do you look like, and are you currently trying to get into the jacuzzi size
Occasionally.
drink?
Yeah, Cort's he's about 2 foot tall. He's got a little purplish shade to him. Lots of little mushrooms growing up on his head. No real mouth, but he does have, tiny beady black eyes, just pure black. A little unsettling, but sometimes he's able to make them look a little cute and puppy dog like. No, no real hard to get a good read on expression with no, kind of mouth or anything. He gets a drink and occasionally pours it on his head to absorb it in, get the nutrients, and then he's hiding in her shadow and looking around, just seeing what's here and noting what people are doing, and occasionally climbing up and trying to jump in the drink.
Yeah, well, speaking of, it is it's minorly busy. It is late afternoon, so it's not like full swell bar party time right now, but I mean the Adventurers Guild is a place of work and a place of fun as well. So there's plenty of people moving in and out. The common room itself is only about half full of people hanging around. There's more motion inside and out by where like the job board is and the check-in area and that kind of stuff. But we'll move on to Gnots. What do you look like, and what are you doing in this moment with your crew?
Well, so Gnots is a little taller than Cort, but not much. She has blue skin and blue fur. Her big, almost cat-like ears. They're very large and fluffy. There's some stray hairs coming out of the top. You can notice her because she's dragging a chair, like a backed chair, not like a bar stool, but a back chair, up to the bar. So there's just this, and she drags it across, and then she climbs up on it because climbing up on the bar stool is actually just a little too difficult. And once she gets up there, you hear,
Hey, you big metal monkey. Did you want anything to drink? And stop sporing in their drinks, Cort.
yeah. Waiting for the last character to respond.
More importantly, what is Kuvan doing?
Do they let Kuvan in?
It's an Adventurers Guild. Of course they let companions in.
Then Kuvan is absolutely laying under the table, eating scraps that are dropped on there, whether by us or they might have been there for days. Who knows?
Probably for days.
And Kuvun is a very, very large. I would say that Jim and Triss are the only two that are as large as Kuvun is. Wild cat that is kind of a tawny and dark brown, like tawny fur, and then this really big dark brown mane and kind of lynxy ears. And thank you for redeeming the pup treat, Raven. I'll do that now.
But yes, so that will bring us to our final character. Your two little companions are scurrying around just a massive chaos. But what does Jim look like, and what is Jim doing?
So Jim is a half simia. The half that is not is more or less his head and his right arm, which is Clank, a magical and also clockwork robot. He is not quite gargantuan, but if it were not for Triss, he would be clearly the largest person in the room. And as it is, you have to argue about mass versus height and how are you measuring exactly who the biggest person is. At the moment, Jim is sitting at a table on a stool that he makes look absolutely tiny. And he's poring over a set of scrolls for what look like schematics as part of a stage show, where apparently some sort of idea for a flamethrower has been shot down, and he's very grumpily trying to rework it into something like, I don't know, Roman candles or sparklers, but apparently Gouts of Flame was just not the vibe we were going for, so...
Do you answer Gnots and their question and a drink? Do you want one? Do you just not notice that they're trying to get your attention?
What was that?
a drink. Yeah.
I'm good, thank you.
That'll be 3 drinks, please.
Okay. What kind of drinks?
Oh,
Because that's like not specific.
Beer?
What kind of beer? There's a lot of different kinds of beers. This is not like one of those played shows.
My
things.
ear starts twitching and I'm looking nervously around. I'm not really used to like ordering things in places.
Do you want a menu? We got a menu. It's right there. Can you read? Do you know how to read? Do you need me to read it for
That's
you?
what that's for. I didn't bother looking at it. Okay. Can you give me a minute?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take your time.
Okay.
The bartender, by the way, which is a like 4 foot tall fairy that that is like full like completely black skin with black eyes, and their like wings are like a gray and black that like flutter out, and they're like beefy. They're like very round and thick. They just move down to like somebody else at the bar as you stare up at the menu.
What's a dark ale?
They have moved on unless you're trying to get their attention again.
That is fine.
Do we all see Gnots struggling at the bar?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna go up and help Gnots.
Yeah, you walk up in time to hear them say, "What's a dark ale?"
Are you okay? Do you need help?
Oh, there are so many choices. I just was gonna get a drink and like a beer, or something. I was gonna get, Jim one, even though he didn't want one. I was gonna get Cort one to like swim around in and stop exploring around in your drinks, but there's like, what is a Hefeweizen?
Hefeweizen?
That's a W. Why would you pronounce W like a V?
That's a great question. You should ask the culture that made that.
Oh, okay. What is an apricot? IPA.
A what?
It says the apricot IPA? IPA?
That's an IPA.
Right, that's how you spell it.
Yes. That's how you say that too. If it's in big letters, you say the individual letters.
This is really confusing. Can't
I
you
know.
just do beer? I like apricots.
That is a beer.
Okay. I didn't know you could make beer from apricots, but I'm gonna get the apricot. IPA.
Do you want to try it?
Yeah.
Okay. I hail the bartender.
Bartender comes up over very easily. It's not super busy. They just went to help someone else. Yeah, does the ladies know what they want?
Can we get
Christ,
at
did you
least-
want one?
Yeah, I'll get an apricot IPA.
Sweet.
Can we
Great,
get 2 apricot IPAs?
Sure. He hands them over to you, like easily pulls them off the tap and tosses the glasses over. They're the same size glass.
Awesome.
Okay.
Hey, do you have anything that tastes like dirt and maybe like rotting garbage?
Well, we have the wallow.
Is that safe for
It's
mushrooms
just
to
where
drink?
we put all the bottom of the barrel, the stuff that doesn't come out of the spot.
Oh,
We
yeah.
just pour it all together and mix
Yeah.
all of them.
Can we get a wallow too? And like maybe like in a bowl? Instead of a mug?
Sure. He takes out a mug, fills up the mug and then pours it in a bowl to make sure it's the same amount.
Awesome.
And then I'm going to climb off the chair.
Great.
And try and carry those over.
You got it?
Yeah.
Like balancing.
Are you trying
the
to
bowl.
carry all three, the 2 bowls and the 2 drinks?
I have a drink in my hand.
I feel like Grace is probably capable.
So you're carrying a drink and a bowl.
Yes. So
Both of which are too big for you.
Yes.
Great. I am gonna need first roll of the game, guys.
Nice.
Let's go.
I'm gonna need a finesse roll, please.
Finesse.
Can I just like behind them, like trying to?
We'll say that you're behind them, and depending on what happens,
fair.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right. So that is a 12 hope.
Take your hope.
13 hope.
Great. So in case you didn't know, Daggerheart is a 2d12 system. So he rolled 2d12 and he got 13, and his highest hope, which means that he gets to take a hope and add that to his fluid resource.
Of which I started with 2.
Yes.
Okay.
And you have a max of 5.
Excellent.
So use them if you have them, guys, because they don't stack any higher than 5. Yeah, no, I mean, it's no issue. It wasn't a hard DC. It's pretty easy for you to, you're just kind of getting your, but you make it over, and then you make it to the chair. And this is where the conundrum happens. Because the table is like, just like at the top of your head.
Well, since the mug has like a handle, I'm going to set the mug down and then like just slide the bowl onto the table for Cort.
I think I see not struggling and I go, you can ask for help, and then just like take like one finger and just sort of scoot the bowl.
Hey, sorry, I see there's tables in the way. Yeah, could you just scoot this over to Cort? So Cort will stop, doing their thing in your drink. And
did they run out of
order?
Mug?
Point of order: is the bowl actually big enough for Cort to swim in?
It's big enough for him to sit in. It's like a kiddie pool. It's like an adult in a kiddie pool.
Okay.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's big enough for him to like sit in. It's an adult in a kiddie pool situation.
Okay.
Oh, we thank you.
Cort
will climb up Triss and onto the table.
Yeah, but when you go to drink the apricot IPA, Gnots has never had this before. So I need you to give me they're called fate rolls. So basically I choose whether you just roll a hope dice or a fear dice, and they're kind of like luck rolls in D&D. So I'm gonna have you roll a hope dice, so just a single D12.
Okay.
And tell me what you get as you try this new drink.
Gotcha. And I'm not going to add anything to this?
Nope, just straight D12 roll.
Well, these wonderful dice made by Carley of Armadillo Dice got me an 8 on the D12. So I'm gonna think. I feel like that's not bad.
Nice.
No, that's good. So you take a drink of this apricot IPA, and it is one of the best things that you've ever tasted.
Wait, no time. Can we get some of this to go?
Rules of this city are: can we drink outside?
I don't know. That is a question. That is a question for the player, Ed, because Ed is the one that created Shield Harbor on our map. So as we discuss world building, the player, Ed, not the player character, but the player, Ed, can tell us what the rules regarding to-go cups for alcohol are in this city.
We get a little sippy cup.
Shield Harbor's city guard is very tolerant. Shield Harbor is ruled by a hereditary ruler, Baron Silver, who basically he's happy to let commerce do commerce things so long as it doesn't threaten his authority. So there's not going to be any open container laws or anything like that. You just might not want to spill it on any nobles that are particularly favored.
Is that some foreshadowing
Grace,
going on right there?
You Grace, you've been here before. You would know that.
Okay. That was Maggie asking.
Yep. But Grace would know that yes, to-go cups are possible.
Maybe I could get like one of those little kegs that like are on St. Bernard's and just like hang it from the front of Kuvun.
I was gonna say get a little tiki mug. One of those like the tiki mugs with the umbrella.
Right? I like it.
Yeah.
I think Libby likes it.
She's being sassy.
You've got a cat. She's not happy.
Right.
But yes, as you're all gathered around this table in the common room, drinking your apricot IPAs and your wallows and whatever Triss had before the rest of them got their drinks, eventually a small little halfling, it's about 3 feet tall, comes into the common room, and they're carrying like it looks like a platter, but it's just got 5 bags on it, and they come over and they're like, "Are you Innatura? Is that you?
That's
Innatura, that's us.
We are.
Innatura? Whatever. Here's your payment. Take it. Have fun. You know. There's a job board if you want more jobs. It's whatever." And they like walk away. But you can all each add a bag of gold to your inventory. You got paid for your previous job in the city. Gold is fun in Daggerheart in that there's no exact numbers. The smallest denomination is a bag. Or handful, sorry. You all get a handful of gold, not a bag. You get a handful of gold, not a bag. It's 5 handfuls make a bag, 5 bags make a chest, 5 chests make a hoard, and 5 hoards make a fortune, I think. Something like that.
it looks like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, that scales up, but we're not there yet, so it doesn't matter. You have handfuls. Sorry, you got an extra handful of gold. It was a bag that split into handfuls.
Gotcha.
I imagine that looks very, very funny in Triss's hand. She's like, I don't understand why you use such small things as currency.
As you say that, you're reminded of this fact that you live in a magical world. And one of the ways that they prevent forgery is that the money is enchanted. And it changes size depending on who's holding it.
Oh,
Beatrice, if you have room for that, I'm 100% capable of carrying it for you.
Cort has made sure that I don't trust anyone else with my money. Pocket that.
We trade you.
What you do is not trading.
No, we trade you.
No, Cort, we're gonna keep Triss. Remember we had this conversation.
This one dull.
Hey.
We trade you for shiny one.
Rude.
Oh. No, he wants the shinier coin here.
Oh.
I don't-
Oh. I thought we were back to, like, through hands or something.
Here, yes, Cort, you can have the shiny coin. Here you go.
Cort kind of, if he could frown, he would frown as it gets smaller as he pulls it to him.
I know, I'm still getting used to that too. Take the dollar coin and pocket that.
And Cort has like a little spoon.
The
with,
weight
like,
is the same though. It's really weird because the weight is the same. It changes size, but the weight is the same. Not very much. It's like minuscule for Triss. It's yeah. But you just got paid for your job, so the day is kind of yours. It is falling into evening and night currently, but it's up to you guys what you want to do.
We staying here?
Are our rooms still good for tonight?
Do you want someone to go check? Because I can go check.
I mean, it means we don't have to find anything else, and
I'll go check.
they at least have enough floor space for me to lay on.
I go check to
If-
see if our rooms are.
Before you go, if they ask about the spoons, we didn't take them.
I think Jim is
Plausible. What?
Jim is frustrated enough with his lack of progress on the Roman candles that he's probably looking for an opportunity to do something else. And I think he's probably going to go take a look at the bulletin board that was mentioned.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll first go with Grace to the just basically the check-in area, and then we'll kind of rewind and go with Jim to the bulletin board. Is anybody going to go with either one of them? Cool. The other three are drinking and bathing.
I was gonna say Triss would go with Grace or whoever was checking on the rooms to make sure
That would be me.
yeah, there's still the room that's big enough for her to lay down in.
Yeah, so the two of you head up to the check-in area, and there is the the nighttime manager. They've already kind of swapped. It's just after shift change, and it's the nighttime manager, which is another giant, not quite as tall as Triss. This one, they sit at about 10 feet tall. Male giant, wearing like a very nice uniform. Kind of uniform that you would expect in like a super fancy hotel, not in an adventurer's guild, but whatever. And he's just standing there at the check-in counter, just kind of writing notes and stuff as the two of you come up. Yes? May I help you?
We just wanted to make sure that our rooms are still good for the night and that we still had a room that's big enough to fit her.
Oh, you are in Innatura, correct? Yes.
Yeah.
You're new. You just first job you did with this, right? You have to be hired part of a job to get the rooms. So you would need to sign on for another job to
Cool.
stay in the rooms.
Cool. Grace immediately turns around, grabs Triss's hand, and just walks back, dragged her back to the table.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's almost like the first place in the Adventurers Guild, like, is the job board, and it's not just a board. It's like the opening room. It's like the parlor, but it's like all of the walls are like covered with jobs, but they're broken down kind of by like tiers, by how dangerous they think they are. And then it's like at the top are like low danger, higher pay. So you have like all the way to the right is the lowest danger stuff, but the higher pay is on top and the lower pay is on bottom, but it's all low danger to the right. And then it scales kind of the same way as you move to the left across the room.
We stay
Where
here
would
now?
you like to look? Well, we're with Jim currently, so
My
where
bad.
would Jim like to go to look for jobs on this
Uh,
role?
I think he probably starts with the high pay, just as the intuitive thing to do. I imagine that his eyes are going to land on something that strikes him as interesting.
Okay, so is he going to higher pay on like the lower danger side or like high pay, high danger side?
I think he's really just looking for something that might be outside of his personal experience, something a little bit unusual. I'm not sure he's quite so much thinking about the danger axis.
Okay. Yeah, give me an instinct roll as you scan across the board, looking for anything that might
All right, so
pop
that's my
out at you.
2d12, and I'm not going to add anything for instinct because that's a +0.
Mhm.
And I have rolled a 18 with hope.
Great. So take your hope. Yeah, as you scan across the board, your eyes kind of drifting up to the top of the board where the higher pay rests. You scan across, and well, one of the first things that pops out that you kind of immediately are like, I don't know if we could do that. Maybe not yet. There's a reward, a kind of standing reward for taking out a dragon. Like an ancient dragon that lives deep in the broken spine. And it just kind of... You see it because the money number listed at the bottom, it literally says Dragon's Hoard. So, it just speaks to you. But you kind of, it was like, especially when you think about like Cort and Gnots and the dragon. But you continue to scan along, and you find a couple in the middle that seem a little intriguing. There's one that heads out towards the Shrieking Cliffs to investigate strange noises. Well, stranger noises, because the Shrieking Cliffs are always making noise. But there has been suspicion that maybe some sort of monstrous creature has returned. There's been like minor indications that more ship trouble than normal, but that's the first one that kind of pops out to you. The second one, which is further down the danger scale, so less dangerous, that pops out is it pops out to you because it says Shale Ridge on it, and you've heard of that town. That's where Gnots is from. And it doesn't have any details. It's in fact very, very vague. Very vague. And it just says Shale Ridge, investigators required, disappearances, ? And then one that's a little closer to home, to where you are currently anyways, that's lower on the scale, is there's been rumors of activity or noises of some kind coming from the Whaling City, which is not too far from Shield Harbor. It's just outside of Shield Harbor. You would know it to be ruins. It doesn't exist anymore. It's an old ruined city. Nobody's really quite sure what happened there. But the reason that it's on the higher pay is because the first two groups that were sent there have not come back, have not been heard from.
Hey, Knots, do you have a minute?
Do you go back into the common room to get Knots?
Oh, this is not in the bar. This was in a different place.
No, this is in like the parlor, and then you would come through, and there's the check-in, and then back towards the back is where the common room is.
Gotcha. No, I think Jim is heading back into the tavern and sort of looking around to see if he can find Knots.
I think Grace and Triss were headed for the bulletin board, correct?
No, we were headed towards the table.
Never mind. Okay.
We were going to tell
so
the
you
group,
guys,
hey, we can't have...
You guys all arrive there at the same time, because magic. So you've all reconverged at the table.
And I feel like you notice you notice that there's a blue furriness that's under the table, laying on a large, kind of light tan furriness, and you might hear.
You okay down there?
I don't know what this feeling is.
Oh.
Can I check? Is her drink's empty? Like already? It's been not that long.
It's about halfway empty.
Have you?
She can't.
Have you?
She can't tolerate it.
Oh, I've had beer before.
Okay. I'll get water.
I don't
Can't
think they made
tolerate it.
noises like that before.
No, my beer's never made noises before.
I'll get bread too.
Jim,
Yeah.
so what are you doing? Why are you looking at me like that? Did I do something?
I was
You
going to
mad
ask
at me?
you about just making sure you're okay. You're from Shell Ridge, right?
Yes. How did you know that?
I mean, I'm sure it's come up. I just remember seeing on the job board Shell Ridge that somehow investigators are required out there. I wondered if you knew why the Ridge would be posting things on the board.
What?
Maybe this is a conversation for a little bit later.
Sure. Whatever you like.
Let's make sure you've got some of that water.
And
There's
bread.
beer and water, right?
Triss, it's
I
easy
mean,
enough for you to get some water
the other
and bread
way.
from the bar.
I come back and just like sit on the ground, and then just as opposed to moving, I'm just gonna like push the table away a little bit, and then like here, eat this first, and just hand her like a little like rip off like the end of the loaf of bread and just hand it to her.
There was like a rumbling noise that by this point you know is Kuvun like purring. When you shove the table, it just stops, and he lifts his head up and just like turns his blue eyes towards you.
This seemed like the easier option than trying to move her.
You know, he's pretty smart. In fact,
I think he's smarter than you.
I think he is smarter than me. He just like looks at me and then lays his head back
Decision made. Kuvan is smarter than that.
down.
Amazing.
In fact, Kuvan is probably smarter than most of this party.
I mean, he is a cat, so.
How many stems are we holding up?
How many stems are you holding up, Cort?
3.
I can't see you because I'm under the table, so I can't answer that.
I pushed the table away. So I could give you bread as opposed to trying to pull you out from underneath it.
So Cort
Mm,
is visible on top of the table. Whether you can see more than a blob is entirely up to you.
bread. Bread.
I think that answers your question.
Indeed, it does. Are you guys going to discuss any jobs or where you're going to go to sleep as Knots descends further into the munchies portion of the evening?
I'm gonna
Just stare at
piece of
Knot.
bread and give it to Not. Like, so it turns out we have to have a job, have a room. Has anyone looked at the board yet?
There were a couple that caught my eye, yeah.
What were they?
Well, there was the one about Shale Ridge that I mentioned. I was hoping maybe Knots would know more about it. It was very vague. So, I guess if you want to see her hometown, that's an opportunity. Other than that, apparently something out at the Shrieking Cliffs is a little bit more shriekier than usual. Worried that there might be critters out there, I guess.
How do you measure the level of shriekiness? What? It could just be the wind. Which, if that's the case, it would be easy money.
I imagine that you'd probably want to use a logarithmic scale for the volume of the shrieking. But at any rate, they're seeing a significant amount more people being weirded out. So however you mention that, someone's willing to pay for us to look into it.
Aren't they near each other? They're far away. We never been there, but
Are you thinking of doing a twofer?
more shinies.
This is true. We do have to cross the plains, though, the southern portion at least, if we're going to hit both.
How long would it take to get there?
Not sure.
Grace has traveled enough that Grace knows that it would take several weeks to get up to Shale Ridge if you were like walking, and it would take you through the manufactory. If you took a boat, that would take you up towards up and past the Shrieking Cliffs, and that would take you a couple weeks, not quite as long, but still a fair amount of time to get to.
But do we have enough money for a boat?
If you wanted something with a quicker turnaround, there was another one right over by the Whaling City, practically in our backyard. Higher pay, too.
Be worth doing first in order to hire a boat later.
What did they want done?
Oh, just something about how everyone who's gone before us hasn't lived to tell the tale. I'm not too worried.
That seems like something we should worry about.
Yeah, but what did they want done?
Honestly, I think just more weird noises that seem to really freak folks out. They need some kind of investigation done. Honestly, I don't know what else to expect coming from a ruined city.
I mean, we get not more of that IPA stuff, and she'll make weird noises too.
Yeah, will someone pay us to investigate that?
We
Actually-
hide not somewhere.
I've gotten up at this point. I've walked over to Jim, and I'm petting the fur on your legs.
I'm from Shell Ridge. Did you know that?
Sorry, what was that?
I'm from Shell Ridge.
Jill Ridge. I did know that.
We should go there sometime because it's not nice. It's not a vacation spot. Why is the floor moving?
Okay. Why don't you sit down? Don't lay down. That's gonna make it worse.
I try to catch.
Oh, wait, sit down. Okay.
Unless you want the spinning to increase, then go ahead and lay down. That might be fun.
No,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I think I've been poisoned. I think that man at the bar,
You're not wrong.
I think he
You're not
slipped
wrong.
something in my drink.
No, he did not.
He had to have.
You're just drunk.
My one foot just keeps like trying to like catch on something and it's just pushing across the floor over and over.
And I'm just holding you.
Why?
It's just like holding like a living stuffed animal.
Grace just has like a furry blue toddler in her lap.
Why do we want to go to Scale Ridge?
Money.
Oh, they don't have much of that there.
Oh, no. This place is going to pay us to go there.
That is absurd.
Nope. No.
Ah.
So we've got to vote against Jill Ridge. I don't know. Cornelius, I feel like you got a head for this sort of thing. What's your instinct?
Would you ask?
Cornelius.
Okay.
We haven't been there. It could be fun.
Do we have the money to get there, though?
I mean, we can walk there.
It's going to take a long time.
Triss walks fast.
The rest of us don't.
Yeah, I have to walk at the pace of the rest of you. Which makes it a little slower. But
I get in your backpack again. Or
Oh,
we
yeah.
get in your backpack.
that doesn't solve the issue for the rest of them, though. So, options are walk to Shell Ridge, and then also maybe the Shrieking Cliffs, or do the job that's closer to here to get more money to hire a boat.
I feel
bad
like the
idea.
shorter walk for higher pay is easy math.
That's also the one that two groups have gone to and then not come back from, which I feel like we have not paid enough attention to. But
We should ask what they want us to do there.
that's a idea.
Maybe we're getting hired to go there to find those groups.
or we
And
could
stick
ask
to
for-
champagne problems.
And if it's not, maybe we can get a bonus for finding those groups if they're there.
That's
Wait, I thought you were.
actually a good idea.
I thought you were Gnots.
Maybe they'll pay for me to find me there.
If Gnots,
Right. My tongue feels weird.
Grace is
Sure.
just now stroking just to calm them down.
is the Whaling City? Is that actually people actually live there, or is it overgrown, or do we know anything about it?
You can give me a knowledge roll.
Right. It's This will be +0. Unless it's overgrown. That would be a 16 with fear.
It will take that
Oh,
fear.
no.
Thank you. No, so you know that the Wailing City is like ancient ruins. It's the ancient ruins of some city that is way long past. Like in your living memory, it has been ruins. There are rumors that some sort of massacre happened there, but only like in the context of like ancient historical rumors, like, the fall of Rome, or, things like that, hundreds of years ago. You've never even met anybody that would have living memory of the Wailing City, as it's colloquially known. But that is what that is what you know of the Wailing City.
Triss, maybe you go to Park. I can tell us more, maybe. Or we can tell us more.
Oh, you want to do your, network thing? Yeah, okay. Well, we don't have rooms here until we have a job, so might as well. Who wants to carry her? Point at not.
I'm
Or not.
already picking her up.
Wait.
Wait. I need to walk, I think. I can't
Just hold
walk.
on to someone's hand.
Okay.
Grace, are you gonna let her try and walk?
I'm gonna hold on to her hand while she does it.
Okay. Yeah, I need you, Knots, to give me an agility roll at disadvantage.
So that I
So,
just
for those of you who
roll.
don't know, no, you roll 2d12, and
Okay.
then you roll a d6, and you subtract the number that you roll in the d6 from your 2d12 roll.
Could not go wrong whatsoever. Once again, hope. But
take your
that
hope.
ends up being a 3.
They take one step and immediately, go to fall on their face, and the only reason that they don't slam face forward into the ground is because Grace is holding their arm, but they just go completely, limp. And the world just spins, and you're, this close to passing out.
I'd gently pick her up and carry her.
You all might notice Kuvun stand up, and you swear he goes. Let me just verify
That's right.
rules-wise. Do I get the hope if I failed the roll?
Yes.
Okay.
You get the hope every time you roll with hope.
Gotcha.
So, scaling-wise, you can succeed with hope, which is, great. You can succeed with fear, which is you get what you want, but there's some sort of complication, and it's up to me whether it happens in the moment or ticks something later or, whatever. You can succeed. You can fail with hope, which is just you don't get what you want, but it's not terrible. And then you can fail with fear, and that's basically a critical failure. It's real bad. You help me, and you don't succeed.
Okay.
And then you can have a critical success, which is really great when you roll doubles. So, and if you do that, you get a hope and you get to clear a stress.
Oh, nice.
In case you didn't know. But yes, Grace is currently holding a giant furry toddler.
My strength is -1.
Well, they're only 2.5 feet, and it's not hard because they are almost passed out now. They're not wiggling. They're not doing anything. They're just drooling very heavily on your back shoulder right now.
It's still a struggle
just
for
like
me.
Just like a toddler.
Do you want... I can take her.
Nah, I got it.
Okay. Where's the closest park?
Closest park.
Yes, we need to find a tree. Or some
Yeah,
mushrooms.
You would, if you're looking for a tree, you know that there is a small training area in the back of the Adventurers Guild that has a few trees along with like a small range for like throwing knives or shooting and stuff like that. Like just kind of a release steam area.
I'll point it
So
out
you
to
would know
Cort.
that you could just go back
Okay.
there.
I'll point that out to Cort. Like, will that work, or do you need something different?
Do they mind if we dig a hole?
They won't tell me no.
It's pretty trashed. I mean, people throw knives and
Yeah.
shoot arrows, and it's, you know, it doesn't look like they would care too much.
I'll walk over and then like kneel down so he can hop off my shoulder to the tree.
So, you're doing an ability. If you would please read out your ability, just so everybody knows
Yes.
what it is.
So, being a fungal, I am always connected. To speak with other fungal across distance to access their hive mind of information. Make an instinct roll. And then we have like a ritual that I have to perform in order to do this.
Yes. So, what does your ritual look like? Obviously, you're doing it at a tree, and you said something about digging a hole.
Yeah, I got to get it, really close to the roots, like, get dug in. And then depending on what type of fungal I'm trying to connect to, I might need some extra material. Like if I'm going with the kind of dark and dank ones, might get some rotten food in the hole with me to help connect properly.
Yeah,
In
so
this
who are you
case,
trying to connect
I'm
with?
gonna try to connect with the Wailing City. I know there's bodies there, or at least I think there's bodies there from the past. I'm assuming there's like some kind of root network through there. Yeah, so I'm gonna see if I can
please.
connect to them and see if they can enlighten me about what's there.
Yeah. So you can give me an instinct roll.
So this is +1. Would In the Weeds count for this?
Absolutely.
All right.
You can spend a hope and add your bonus, your experience
okay.
bonus.
That would be a 11 with hope.
Great. So take your hope, and you like sink into your hole that you've made, and the dirt kind of covers you up like a blanket, and you like stick your hands to touch the roots of the tree, and close your eyes and just feel out into the world, and you feel your consciousness kind of following these lines of connectivity between all of the fungrels. And you follow it out. It doesn't take very long because the Wailing City isn't too far away, but you follow it out, and it feels like there's this like kind of hole missing in the network where you believe/know the Wailing City to be. So there's like a certain radius that there doesn't seem to be any living fungal. You can follow the connectivity and you sense like mushrooms and fungus, but not any actual fungal. But you can connect to the one that is closest to the city if you wish to and ask a question.
Yeah, probably be to the north of it. There looks like there's a forest area up there, it looks like.
Yeah. If you want to connect to the one that's to the north of one of the ones to the north of the city, you can. Do you have a question that you want to ask?
Yeah. What's in the Wailing City that's so bad? We've never been.
We don't know. We don't know. People don't go there. We don't know. None of us can't. Consciousness doesn't reach. Don't go there. Don't go there. Don't go there.
We said not to go there. We said bad. We said none of us can live there.
Don't you just need, like, decay? There's not things there at all.
We can't.
So you would know from that roll that part of it is because you rolled a little low, but it was like right at the DC, so you didn't get like the full amount of information that you could have gotten. So you know that they were just scared, and that was what was transferring over to their question. So
Understood.
do with that with what you will.
Yeah. We have no roots there.
So what? Like, you can't go there in it's not possible? Or you can't go there in we're gonna earn our pay?
We don't know. We just don't go there. We die there.
From
I
my
guess
knowledge...
I'm just curious if where you're at, Cort, are you in a prove her wrong, show 'em what you can do kind of mood, or a that's damn scary, let's go somewhere else kind of mood?
We trust our mycelium. If you go, we go.
I mean, what?
Triss
You
had a
want to sleep
question?
on it, or?
was
Oh,
gonna...
sorry.
All good. I was going to ask, through, like, my knowledge of nature and friendship with Cort, how disconcerting is it that the fungal, like, can't survive there?
You can either give me a let's say a knowledge roll or an instinct roll. Your choice.
I'm gonna go for instinct, and can I, by chance, add my experience as from the Heart Guardian?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sick.
Spend a hope.
Okay. Oh wait, gotta roll both. Ooh, okay. That is 18 with a 12 on the hope die.
Nice.
Plus 2 from Heart Guardian for 20.
Yeah, so you would know that while the fungal spread...
Oh, I'm sorry, it's
pretty-
actually higher. That's a 9, not a 6.
Wonderful, even better. Yeah, you you would know that the fungal spread most places across the broken spine. You would know that there are a few places where they aren't present, and these are usually places where some sort of ritual like went wrong. There's a reason why Putrid Terra is so terrifying, because it's a place where a ritual went wrong and the fungal survived and adapted in this area and became monstrous. Most other areas throughout the broken spine, if a ritual went wrong and that area hasn't been cleansed, it's very difficult for fungal to take root and live and thrive there. Not that they couldn't be there, but they can't like grow and create and, all the parts of being a functioning society in areas where rituals have gone wrong. The
Right.
magic and the way that the fungal connect to the world, it doesn't intersect.
Yeah, so I'll relay that. Like, it's magically corrupted. That's why they can't. I would assume it's similar to the Putrid Terra, though it sounds like the
You
fungal
see-
survived the Putrid Terra, but they don't survive whatever's there.
Yeah, Cort kind of like shrivels up a little second when you say Putritera.
So, whatever is there, or whatever effect this ritual had on the city, probably pretty dangerous.
We think that's probably what killed the people too, then.
I imagine if the fungal don't go there, it is devoid of life.
I mean, we're not working for the Fence Painters Guild.
You have a point? I guess the question is it worth the money?
We ask then?
More information needed.
Yeah, so you would know that the postings on the job boards are just kind of like flyers, and you can always like go up and say that you're interested in this job and get like the full dossier before accepting the job. These are just like pitches versus the whole deck.
Mhm.
So
How
you're
late
more
is
than
it? Is this-
welcome.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's still evening. You know, like 8 p.m.
Okay. Is it late enough that we couldn't follow up on this right now, or is it something we have to like sleep on and follow up
Oh,
on
they
in the
work
morning?
24 hours a day.
Ah,
It's
sick.
the Adventurers Guild. There's always somebody handling the moves.
Alright.
We want to know what
At least
Grace
in
and
this
Kuva
major
thinks.
city. You're in a hub of society and civilization. This Adventurers Guild is massive and always working and always running.
We want to know what Grace and Kuvan thinks.
I would like more information. I agree.
Kuvun nods to the more information.
You just see Grace kind of struggling to hold.
Kuvun like
The
comes
dead
up
weight.
and Kuvun comes up to like here on you, like almost to your shoulder, like just below your shoulder, and that's when they're on all fours. Like they're massive, and they just come up to you and kind of like give like a little glance at Knots. Like they'll just put Knots on Kuvun.
I gently struggle to put
Oh, there's a saddle, a small
Oh, I
saddle,
understand that.
because
I
he
understand that.
rides it. But there's straps. There's like straps to strap Knots into the saddle.
Oh, I'm struggling not to wake up Not.
Oh, don't think anything's gonna wake them up right now.
Here, we'll help. And Cort will
You
walk
like
over.
come up to Kuvun's knee.
Right.
So I toss one of the straps over to Cort, and I'm like, "Thank you."
Yeah, you can reach up and tie the strap.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to tie it really well.
Yeah. You are fully strapped in and not going anywhere. You are probably going to have a very sore stomach from where the saddle is like pressing into your stomach right now, but you are not going anywhere on
That's
that on top
Cort's
of
going to make a knot for Knots.
No, thanks.
Okay, so I have a question.
Mhm.
Give me a finesse check. I want to see how good your knot is.
The knot
Ho, ho,
is
ho. This is an 18 with fear.
Okay, I'll take that fear. Thank you. Yeah, it's real tight. We'll see what comes of that later.
Right?
But you guys are more than welcome to go back to the check-in desk and ask after the Whaling City mission, if you wish.
I'll waddle
Sounds like
behind.
a plan.
Yeah, I'll go. Who's leading?
That's a good question.
I'll lead.
Yeah, who's leading?
Okay.
Yeah, you guys come back up to the check-in desk, and it's the same male, slickly dressed giant that's there, and it's like, yes. Did you find a mission?
We did. We want to know about the Whaling City.
Right. He turns around, and you know, like in hotel rooms where they have like the like letter boxes, the old hotel rooms, but it's just like the size of like files, and it's just kind of like a dentist's office when you see all the files like just out, and and they fills the Whaling City for your perusal. Take your time, not too long, and let me know if you wish to take the job.
Thank you so much. And what's your name again?
Oh, I'm Jean.
Okay.
Jean.
Thank you, Jean.
No last name. You know how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you guys are handed like a dossier on the Whaling City mission. But that is where we're gonna leave off for a break before we get into all the good information. So
Awesome.
yeah. Thank you for enjoying the first part of our Daggerheart and introducing our characters, and see what happens.
Yeah. We'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Probably closer to 5, unless we're not. Be right back.
All right. Hey, guys. Welcome back. We're ready to dive in with this wonderful group once again. So far, we have had drunken shenanigans and deciding what they're going to do next. So we'll jump right back into that with you've been handed a dossier on the Whaling City job. What would you like to do?
I don't think there's anything that Jim enjoys more than research. Maybe a
I
few
feel like that's
things,
really
but it's
passed
right
away.
up there.
I just hand it over to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Jim, you open up the dossier, and it is much more like fleshed out mission. It starts with what the objective is, and the objective is that there are recent rumors of a like band of thieves that have been going all over the Broken Spine, stealing important artifacts of power. And there's a rumor that they have taken shelter in the Whaling City. So the mission parameters are to gather information about whether they are in the Whaling City, what they're doing there. Basically, it's an information gathering mission. But under that, it has the details of the other two teams that have been sent and not heard from again. So beyond the regular mission parameters, there is an additional mission parameter of finding out what happened to the other teams and why they've gone missing. Do you have any follow-up questions?
What do you think the odds are that one of the first two teams grabbed the artifacts of power and skedaddled?
It's a non-zero chance.
We wouldn't do that.
No, we wouldn't.
Definitely not. There's our reputation to think of.
Do we have a reputation?
Not if we change our names.
Guys, please don't do this to me.
Is there any other information? Is there any other information that you want from the dossier, or we're looking for from the dossier? Yes. No. Maybe so.
Does the dossier cover, like, I don't know, how experienced these adventurers were, like how many missions they had done for the guild, etc.?
Yeah, it has information. So the first group that was sent was at least on the scale of the Adventurers Guild, relatively inexperienced. They had mostly only done like local jobs, but all of the jobs that they had done before were information gathering jobs. So this was kind of in their wheelhouse. And the initial send out, this wasn't expected to be a super difficult job. The second group that sent out had a little more experience, but not in Shield Harbor. They were new to Shield Harbor, kind of like you guys were. But they had a broader like focus. When you look at them and kind of the skills that they were listed for this group, they seem to be on a very, at least on paper, similar level to you guys, at least on paper. It seems that way.
I'm assuming it describes them in case we find their bodies or whatnot, so we can identify.
Yeah, it has a description of each of the members of the parties, and like what their proposed skill sets are. Neither of the groups had a name for their group, though.
That was the issue. That solves all
Rookie
our problems.
mistake.
And they didn't have a Triss.
No, the first team did have a giant, but not as tall as Triss and not the same skill set. It does say that you guys will be rewarded. It has the reward listed. Sorry, I'm looking up my notes. It says that between the 5 of you, like the group that goes on this, you will get a chest of gold.
Oh shit!
Reward. That's if you hit all the mission parameters. You will get less depending on the scale of what you come back with.
And the parameters
It also
are...
notes that any items of minor magical power are yours to keep.
Ooh.
That are found on this mission.
Does it say what to do with the major?
Those are to be brought back and can be turned in for additional rewards. Depending on what the items are and their importance.
Sorry, all this is a conscious character decision. So, you all, Gnots is gonna go wherever you all go until she wakes up.
And she goes wherever the kitty goes.
Right.
Now you can. I mean, this is a game. There is a game mechanic known as above the table, so you can discuss as the player above the table.
I mean, I'm
you would like to do.
fine.
You don't have to.
Yeah, I'm personally fine with going to this super deadly, dangerous area that other people have disappeared into. What could go wrong?
No, it's there. Yeah.
Right.
As the person who created it, let's go.
Yes. For those of you who don't know, the Wailing City was created, and part of the lore was created by Maggie for our map.
nice.
So
if we die,
I
we
just
all
got
blame
to make
Maggie.
them more fun.
I don't know what's in it. I gave Carly creative control over that.
We think we can do it.
So are you gonna
Fist
go?
of gold is pretty tempting.
I'm sold.
Gonna...
Items of magical power, chests of gold.
Dead adventurers.
Huge
do it.
tracts of land. I told you there'd be pop culture references.
Tell them that we've accepted this quest so we can have our rooms back. And just head off in the morning.
So do you return to the check-in area?
Yes.
Have you made a decision?
We're gonna try.
Great.
No,
So
there is no try. Sorry.
Thank you.
he just Jean just looks down at the unintelligibly mumbling Gnots and is just like, yes, okay, I will mark you down. Let's see. Yes. You also get these part of the mission, and he pulls out some stuff from under the counter and sets it on there, and there are 3 minor health potions and 2 minor stamina potions on the counter that he passes to you all, that you can separate as you wish or keep them in a grab bag. It's entirely up to you. We will mark you down. We would prefer to hear back from you in, let's say, 2 weeks? 2 weeks. With here, it's not too far to get there, but stuff has happened, so we will give you 2 weeks this time.
Would know how
Please.
long it takes, right?
Yeah, it's about like a 2 to 3 day journey, depending on how
Okay.
fast you're traveling to get to the Wailing City. It's not terribly far outside of the city. There is not a major road that goes there, though. So, no
Gotcha.
longer, anyways. There are the remnants of a crumbling road that still exists. Your rooms, yes, they're still there. They're yours. Any other questions for me? If not, there are people waiting behind you.
Can we get something for our companion? And he points to the cat.
Let's see. He he dips down behind the counter again and pulls out. Let me see what we got here. Gotta find our stuff. I have my list. Sorry. Gotta scroll. There's so much information written down. Where's my stuff? Nope. Scrolled too far. I have something, because I planned for this, but I have all of my information written down in so many other places.
The curse of the GM.
I know. I think I scrolled past it, because I'm an idiot. It's fine. No, we'll just go with, they hand over what looks like a glass of milk. and then this should help. You're
He'll
not
grab
sure
it with
what it
both
is.
arms and try to waddle
Oh
it
yeah,
up.
it's like half your size.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's got it.
He's fully got it. Yeah. So your rooms are available to you, and it's still. I mean, it's like 8 p.m. now, so still have some time to decide what you wish to do. My mouse. There we go. With your evening.
Anyone feel like
Go ahead.
asking around, seeing if any of the other local adventurers have been out to the Whaling City recently?
We think that's a good idea.
Yeah, you guys can head back to like the common room. It's busier now as more of the adventurers make their way back to the area for the night. It's getting rowdier as drinking happens with a bunch of adventurers. Probably about 80% of the time, a bar brawl breaks out here. So, you know.
Jim extends a hand to Cort and Arius.
All right, you want to come with? Anyone else?
I think it would be best if we put if we put Gnots in the room.
I'll take care of her. Just
Okay.
Not all waddle over to Triss and try to pass the bottle.
oh, thank you. Just pick it up, but like
Yeah, you can hold it with like 2 fingers very
Oh.
easily.
That's
just kind of
awfully
like
nice of you.
put Knot over my shoulder and be like,
Knot's tied to the cat.
oh, never
Yeah,
mind.
Knot is fully tied to the cat right now.
Forgot about that. Yeah, I'll take Knot and Kuvan to the room.
Yeah, easy enough. You can totally bring them up to the room. Kuvan follows easily. Probably already started heading there before you even finished saying, I'll take Knot to the room.
I think Jim just calls after her.
Don't let her talk you into an early night if you want to see what's going on.
I'll make sure she's not gonna drown in her own vomit and then come see what you all are up to.
That's true friendship right there.
Well, as Knots is positioned on Kuvan right now, they are face down and would throw up not like on to Kuvan, but like off
I was
the
going to
side.
say,
of
Kuvan would not be very
Kuvan.
impressed. Kuvan, yeah.
Yeah. Get her lying down in like a bed at least, not.
Well, if you're
Saddle
gonna try
poking over her
to get, if you're gonna try and get Knots out of the straps, Cort made a very special knot. So you have 2 options. You can either try to forcefully like just pull Knots out of the straps, or try to undo this knot. I told you it would come back.
Oh god. I'll make an attempt to undo the knot, and if it doesn't work, I probably have a knife somewhere.
Okay, so I'm gonna need a finesse roll. Well, it's a disadvantage because a very tiny person made this knot, and you have very
Yeah,
big
that's
fingers.
Yeah. Remind me how we do disadvantage again.
So you roll the 2d12, and you roll a d6, and you subtract the number on the d6 from your total 2d12 roll.
Alright. Okay. Let's see. I'm doing math. That's 13 14, but at disadvantage. Okay. 12.
Yeah, you're like trying to pull at the knot, and you just get tiny.
Okay. How much does it look like it would have hurt if I just like yanked her out?
Not a lot. They would have a bruise or maybe a rash in the morning. But nah.
She's like pretty out, yeah.
Yeah, probably not any worse than their hangover's gonna be in the morning.
Tristan's gonna be like, you probably already had a bruise from that saddle anyway.
Easily enough. You don't even have to roll for it this time. Was that with hope or fear? Sorry, the 12 that you rolled.
Oh, that was with fear.
I will take it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's 6 on hope and 7 on fear.
Yeah. So easily enough you pull knots out of the straps that are still knotted like across the saddle.
That's someone else's problem.
And managed to get them very easily onto the bed.
Yeah. I'll have Kuvun lay down, prop knots up against him, and then just be like, yeah, she's probably gonna be fine.
Just
do like a little like move
like
the chamber pot over to where it's like the puke bucket. Like, yeah,
you first try to set it by Kuvun's head, and they just glare at you, and they're like, and so then you put it by their butt.
I think he's gonna glare and be like, look, she's gonna vomit here no matter what. Do you want it in the bowl or on your face?
She gives like a gesture to just move it away from her face, like at the other side.
Her head's not over there, but all right.
Kuvun gives a little like shrug and nods, goes the other way.
Yeah, that works. All right. Just don't let her roll over.
She gives this look like, what kind of idiot do you think I am? On the face of a cat.
Yeah, right. Just go back.
Easily enough, you come back down into the bar. Meanwhile, in the common room, who is trying to find out information? Who's trying to drink? What are you all trying to do?
Or
I'm gonna
Cort's
go-
following. Okay.
Nope, go.
Oh, Cort's just falling behind, listening, waiting for the fights to break out so he can steal stuff from unconscious people.
Cort, no.
Cort, yes.
Grace?
I think. Go ahead.
I'm following Jim to help him get information out of people.
All right. Okay, so are you trying to find, each of you that are trying to find information, are you trying to find information by just kind of listening and hanging out, or are you actively talking to people? Like, how specifically are you trying to find information about the Wailing City?
I think Jim is sort of he's being very social, working the room. I think particularly looking for people who might be in a good mood. You know, maybe people who have been successful recently. You know, maybe they're more willing to talk. And you know, hey, have you been out there? Have you heard anyone who has? You know.
Yeah. So that as you go from person to person and kind of work the room, give me a presence roll to see how well you do at chatting people. Remember, you can also spend hope to help someone, which means that you, as the person that's spending help, can roll a d6 to add to their roll. If you wish to do.
Is this something I could categorize as my expertise in applied research?
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Maggie, did you want to help, or did you have a different question?
I was gonna help.
Yeah, he hasn't rolled yet, or he hasn't said his roll, so you can still help if you wish. Spend a help and roll a d6, and we'll add that number to Jim's total.
All right. So it's going to be my 2d12 plus the d6 for the help.
She's
plus
rolling
my...
the d6.
Oh, gotcha. And then plus one for my, I want to say presence, and then
Yes.
one for my experience. Is that right?
Yes, and you have to spend a hope to use your experience.
Got it. All right. So that is not a fabulous roll. So that would be an 8 with hope before the d6 from the help.
6.
Ooh. So 14 with hope. So you can take your hope.
Nice.
You move around the room pretty easily. In fact, as Grace kind of takes the wingman position, but almost everybody in this room has heard of Grace. So while you're the one talking and asking the questions, they're all kind of opening up and willing to speak to you because she's there and looking at them.
I just kind of hook my arm through yours so that I'm not talking to people unless they address me directly. But I keep it short, and I'm kind of keeping it so that hey, I'm with him. Make sure that you're paying attention to him.
Just absolutely
yes.
lending me your power.
Yes.
Absolutely. So you move around the room, and not many people have been to the Wailing City. There are a few adventurers that have been near there, but not super recently. A few months back is the most recent that you can find of somebody that went near there. And as you move around the room, the thing that the information that you gather is that there's just something wrong with that place. Almost when you're approaching, you get this sense that you shouldn't be there. And the closer and closer you get, the harder that feeling is to ignore. Which also means that it makes kind of the perfect place for a band of thieves or people looking not to be found, because people have to make a very specific effort to get there.
Has anyone is this hearsay, or is anyone actually in the room this evening who's had the experience of being out there?
There are two people, two partners. One is a daemon that is about 6 feet tall, has the curlicue horns, has a light blue skin with piercing red eyes. She is dressed in very much gypsy-like clothing. And then her partner, kind of the exact opposite of her. They are a human male that is about 5'6", on the short side for men. But where she looks like a dancer, he's very stocky and broad and kind of no nonsense. She always has a smile on her face. He's always kind of but both of them are the ones that have most recently at least experienced that feeling. They had a mission within the Broken Spine Mountains that took them near and past the Wailing City.
I think probably the two things that Jim's most interested in asking them about are, like, on the practical side, whether or not they saw any tracks, signs in or out, that sort of thing. But also, he's maybe even more interested just in what was the experience like of this wrongness? What did it feel like to you? Was it that's very interesting to him.
The female demon does most of the talking. Well, darling, have you ever come face to face with a situation or a creature where you were about to die and you knew that you probably wouldn't make it, that you shouldn't be there, and you know that kind of feeling of just dread that you get in that moment? Well, it's just, instead of just that overwhelming dread that happens in a specific moment, it builds. It builds to that. It starts as goosebumps on your skin. The closer and closer you get, the more and more you ignore those goosebumps. The more and more you know and realize you shouldn't be there. You're not going to make it out alive. This is your resting place.
Jim looks just enraptured by this description, and he's flashing back to a very clear picture of a white stone block and a rope snapping, and the realization of what that means as it begins to fall towards him almost in slow motion. It's like he's living it all over again. He's just sort of lost in the moment, like very invested in this daemon's description of the experience.
But I turned around when I felt that, when it built to that point, so can't really say past that,
Yeah.
Would I know
hell
of
of a
that?
thing.
Would I know of that magical, any magic that could produce that kind of effect?
Give me a spellcast roll, which I believe is instinct for you.
It is. That's a dirty 20. Oh, it's a 20 with hope.
Yeah, so you would know that there are both creatures, magical effects, and even more specifically, like a creature's lair that can create that kind of feeling. All of which have to do with magic. So they're all either creatures that are magical or have become infused with magic, or somebody doing magic that can artificially create that kind of effect.
Yeah. Okay. So I turned to Jim and I'm like, hey, there's a number of things that can do this. There's creatures, there's magical effects, creatures' layers even, we gotta be careful what we're walking into.
I think as much as he's physically capable of it, his face lights up. Maybe his eyes actually do grow a little bit more intense. And he just immediately is hanging on your every word about what kind of creatures or effects could be causing this.
I start listing just a couple creatures. I'm not going to because I don't know what could possibly be there.
Yeah, well, you would know that there's a lot of like undead creatures that can cause that kind of feeling. You know that there's a lot of just kind of mid to high level magic that can cause that feeling. You also know that if a creature has been like corrupted by magic, a possible corruption could be that like emission of that kind of feeling. But the fact that it surrounds the ruins allows you to narrow it down to that it's either likely a lair for a creature, like a creature has, or a group of creatures have lived there long enough and suffused enough with the location that it's caused an effect that radiates outward, or it's some sort of magical like being or magic effect that's doing it.
And I relay that all to you, and yeah.
An important
Sorry, I'm
question.
trying to take
Important question about Jim. Do Jim's eyes glow red?
Geez, I'm actually gonna have to look at my Hero Forge character.
I mean, they're red. I think they're red on there. I was just curious if they're like always red or if they change with your mood or whatever. Since you said they shifted,
Mood ring eyes.
is this like a mood? Right, exactly. Is this like a color shifting LED light kind of thing, or?
I think it's more of a intensity thing.
Okay.
I don't think he goes through the full rainbow, but I think it says something about like whatever he is thinking or feeling at any particular moment. If he's dozing off, they're going to be like really dim. But like if it's really intense, if there's great danger or interest or passion, then they would be lit up.
Thanks.
Wait, do his eyes not close when he sleeps? Are they just dark?
They dim.
Yeah. Nobody made him eyelids.
Oh my god.
Aw.
Quest for another time.
Or
Side quest.
maybe that
Get
should
Jim
be
eyelids.
our first quest.
Or maybe they had eyelids, but they don't work anymore because there's a gear missing.
The quest was the eyelids we had all along.
What? Who could have that?
All right. So that is kind of the information that you find out as you move through the bar during the evening. Is there anybody else or anything else that you guys like to try to do? I know Cort mentioned that he wants to try and steal some shinies off of some people.
Yeah, if there's a fight that breaks out,
Oh my god.
he'll be like
course there's
moving
a
in
fight that
underneath the
breaks out.
tables.
Of course there's a fight that breaks out. It's an Adventurers Guild bard. There is, of course, a fight that breaks out. Probably doesn't happen until about like 11 p.m. later in the evening, a few hours in, once everybody's tossed off their rocker and all of that. But, not everybody's an afternoon drunk. So,
Only the goblins.
holy nuts. But yeah, you can, for sure, give me a,
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Cort will
give me
go
a
like
fin-
underneath the tables and like kind of hide in there and wait for people to get knocked down and then sneak over.
yeah,
And he's
you're
not
for
necessarily
sure
taking
rogue.
super valuable stuff. He just wants something that's shiny.
Absolutely. You're a rogue, so you have your fun hidden ability, and you're small, so it's very easy for you to duck out of line of sight. So I will let you give me a finesse roll with advantage, because
Okay.
you were hidden very easily. And then we'll see how it goes.
Well, it's Hope. 16, 22, 24.
Awesome. Yeah. You very easily managed to procure a fine collection of shinies during the bar fight and throughout the evening. You find a super shiny like bottle cap. You find about throughout the evening in various ventures another handful of gold, just from various places and pieces throughout the evening. And you find this really, really cool. Well, you think it's a dagger. You think it's a dagger. You think it's a bone dagger. That's like super shiny. It's actually a hairpin. It's a bone hairpin. But you firmly believe that it's a dagger. And it's pointy. And it's sharp. Because this is an adventurers guild. And of course they have hairpins that could stab people. So, so that is what you collect throughout your evening. And I will allow that hairpin will for sure function as a dagger for you.
Okay. At some point, I'll try to sneak the bag of gold into Grace's bag. Give it to her.
Oh, yeah. Give me a instinct roll.
Okay.
Not you, Grace.
Oh, crap.
You already. I'm counting your stealth roll from earlier as part of this whole thing.
Gotcha.
So she's getting an instinct to see if she notices.
14 with hope.
Oh, easily enough. You can take your hope, Grace, and you for sure slip that very easily in her bag as she's distracted.
It's a bag of gold?
Yeah.
No, it's a handful. It's a handful of gold, but slipped into your bag.
Hell yeah. Wait, why am I the treasurer?
Because you're the
Because I rolled a
highborn.
d4 and you were the one that got it.
Oh my god.
Also, you're the highborn, so. So your evening passes with information, drinking, stealing, sleeping. I would say give me a fate fear roll, Jeremy. We're gonna see if something happens while you're up in your room with Kavun.
And what am I rolling? Sorry.
Just a fear. Single D12.
That is a whopping 4.
Oh no.
You do throw up.
Oh.
And
I
wake
was
yourself
planning
up.
for that anyway.
But you do manage to actually throw up in the bedpan that was placed
That's
next
nice.
to you.
Kavun
And it wakes
appreciates
you up,
that.
so you don't like fall and start to inhale your own vomit.
It's
You
always
are
nice,
just,
yeah.
You just wake yourself up and throw up and
This is how you win at Daggerheart.
All right, but I
Sorry.
Yeah, I think you won.
Right, this is
You
how I
win.
kill my fellow players. Sorry.
You've won. You won't no longer need to play or learn how to play this game.
It was good to see you all.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Meanwhile, we all have to play.
Oh, come on. You can't end the session. You can't end the campaign before we've done at least a combat.
No,
Right?
you all you haven't won yet. I
No,
won.
all of us.
Oh,
Right.
okay. I see. Are you going back to character creation?
Right, yeah, I'll bring in a newbie. I'll bring in a low level character for you all.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Because you're not all level 1
Right.
right now.
We're supposed to be level 1.
Well, everybody but Kavun is. We're just his minions.
Right.
Yeah.
You just start playing as
Yeah.
Kavun.
Kavun for sure. Level 20. Doesn't
Right.
exist in Daggerheart, but he's a level. They're a level 20.
Mhm.
Kavun is like the Fizzban or Elminster or whatever of this
Oh no,
world.
no, he's Sprinkle. He is literally a Fey Lord pretending to be a
Oh my
pet.
god.
He is
I
Sprinkle.
love it.
Anyways,
Right? Wait, what were
you
we
guys
doing?
you guys all managed to make your way up.
You're back
to
in the
room for
simulation.
night.
Right.
Make your way up to the room for the night. You do inhale the scent of vomit, but luckily it is in the bedpan when you guys make it up to the room.
Swanson and goes, Called it. And then we'll go dump the bedpan out before everyone else goes to sleep because that's gross.
I will minor illusion the scent away.
If only minor illusion worked that way.
Don't look at it. Don't let Cort see what I've done. Don't let him see.
Don't worry, I've seen worse.
You look in, there's just a bunch of like chewed up mushrooms in there.
What is it? Ew. Okay. I'm not gonna ask where those came from.
Well, that explains why she threw up.
Oh no.
I wonder if Grace is missing some children.
No! Oh shit! Wait, no, I'm not next to anyone. Never mind.
Oh, no.
There's a stairwell right there. There's elevators right there.
So you guys are easily enough can settle down to sleep for the night.
On the 6th floor.
Yeah, which means that you guys can take a downtime action. I know none of you have been injured or done anything stressful, but you can do one of the downtime actions. Well, technically you could do 2 of them, but I think there's only one that you guys can do currently. So you can tend to wounds, which nobody's injured. You can clear stress, so I don't think anybody's stressed. Repair armor, don't think anybody's hurt their armor. But you can prepare, which would allow you to gain a hope. You can also you can choose to do it with 1 or more members of your party, and you can each take 2 hope if you do that. So at least 2 of you do that, and the 2 of you can get 2 hope. And you could also work on a project. So if there's some sort of project, like maybe our Simia friend mentioned, that you want to pitch to actually try and work on or do, this includes things like making new armor, making weapons, making magical items, learning a new skill.
Making eyelids.
That is also something. Making eyelids. This is also something that you can pitch to me as a project that you want to work on. So presumably, you're all going to prepare, so you can all take 2 hope.
Sick.
Just going to presume that each of you are taking that action, since the other 3 mean nothing. And then if any of you want to start a project, let me know.
Maybe. I just don't know what that is yet.
Cort's project.
Yeah.
Oh, Jim. Jim has an idea. Other people can think while Jim speaks.
I was specifically wondering if we could tap Grace's performance expertise to figure out basically how to hype up the Innatura name, right? Can we get people talking us up as, you know, this hot up and coming
Social
adventure
project.
Party, like destined for great things? Can we get, you know,
Do you
like
want me to
city
be a
urchins?
social media manager?
Or maybe you can introduce me to yours? I don't know. I just had this
Come on,
idea that
I
you
would-
might know something about it.
I would be down for you guys to have like a group. Let's just call it like
Sponsor.
notoriety project for Innatura. And you guys could put actions forth during downtime to like boost your notoriety. So this would just be, you know, depending on who you are, a different way of doing things. Like Cort could put whispers in the walls about the amazing things that you guys are doing, like to spread rumors or things like that. Or, you know, you write something that somebody could find that just spreads rumors. I'd be down for that. And we could have, depending on how much time and effort you put in, it can raise the level and notoriety of Innatura. And we'll just say also completing missions can contribute to this if you wish to, but you can also make individual projects. You
So I'll have to talk to my promoter.
I'll have my people call your people.
No, I will. No, yeah, I can think of some stuff. Are we thinking?
And you don't have to be super.
Oh.
You also don't have to be super specific about it. Like if you say that if you're spending your downtime action working on the project of upping the notoriety of Innatura, like that's all you have to tell me, and then we can just put that as a later function, like just in terms of building the name. Like you don't have to be specific unless you want to be specific about what you're doing.
Carley, I'm trying to role play.
I'm just letting you know because some people are like, but I want to do this, but I don't know how. So I'm just saying, it's just up to you.
You're good. You're good.
What do you want to do, Grace? Are you doing a work on a project? Are you promoting the notoriety of Innatura?
I was promoting the notoriety of Innatura.
Great. How are you doing that, if you want to tell me?
I'm brainstorming right now how to, like, who to contact, what possible options we have right now in this moment, what ways we can actually, like, start getting our name out before I start contacting people.
Absolutely.
Just like what we can do, because once I get to my promoter, I can actually, like, I get in my claws in people.
Right. Does anybody else want to work on promoting the notoriety?
So
of...
I'm gonna help do that, but I'm not going to actively be helping doing it now. What's going to happen is instead, Grace is going to remember me telling a story of like my mom, who's kind of into magic and stuff, that used to like enchant things to yell at me. And so maybe you can enchant objects to like randomly, when people walk by, for example, be all like, hey, these people are really cool, you should hire them, and stuff like that. And that would be my contribution.
Are you using your downtime action?
Yes.
Okay. Is anybody else?
My downtime is to cause a flashback to a previous conversation.
I mean, fair. It's magic.
That's right.
Yeah, Cort's going to contribute as well. Go ahead.
Great.
Sorry,
Lauren?
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just it got me feeling like we're playing Blades now with the flashbacks.
I mean, it's listed as an inspiration, so. But does Triss have something else they want to work on, or are they going to contribute to the notoriety of Innatura?
I think Triss is just gonna like focus in on prepping for what's ahead of them and just keeping an eye on Gnots.
Fair enough. Jim, are you contributing to the notoriety of Innatura already?
Yeah, I think he's probably working with Cort and or Grace, maybe starting by figuring out, like, remember that time that like Triss saved me from that saber-toothed bear? That's like an awesome story. We need to hype up like how badass she is, and like what a spectacular representation of our group's capabilities, like beating off that bear and saving my life was.
I start minor illusioning that scene.
Yeah. So we'll mark down 4 downtime actions towards promoting the notoriety of Innatura, and yeah, I will keep track of that, and maybe that will have effects.
Yeah, Cort's going to
later down the road. Cort, what did you say?
I was going to try to infect the local hive mind with stories of Triss and the giant creatures and stuff she fights, and inject these stories into the hive mind.
Absolutely. Triss, before you know it, you're going to be
Triss is gonna walk out in the morning and she's like, why are people talking about me? What did you do?
It's a conspiracy.
Look what you made me do.
I love it. So yes, you easily manage to have a conspiracy to promote the notoriety of Innatura, specifically Triss at this moment, and you get a rest. And you guys prepare. It's a new day.
Yay.
What do you want to do?
Hey, Triss. Don't blame me.
Concerning with no context. What did you guys do?
We didn't do anything.
I don't believe you for a heartbeat.
Would we lie to you?
Absolutely.
Okay, we would.
I'll figure it out when we go outside.
The day is yours. You have a mission through the Adventurers Guild of Shield Harbor. What are you guys doing?
Everyone
Right.
notices as Gnots is like standing, leaning against Kuvun, her face just like pushed into his fur so far that like it's just her ears sticking out, and she's just like half-heartedly petting him, and you can hear her muttering something about being so sorry and never let that happen again, etc., etc.
How you feeling?
She'll like pull her head out of the darkness and look at you, and her eyes are already like, her irises are red, but all of the red, like white around them is like bright red too, and she's like,
I'm fine. Everything's fine. It's so bright in here.
She pushes her face back into his fur.
You look
You're gonna
fine.
have a fun day.
Good. Healthy. Ready to hit the road, right?
Oh, did you decide where we're going?
We did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we didn't tell her.
Good.
Whoops.
The Wailing City.
Good. Sounds like a good place to go.
Oh, you're in for a real treat.
We don't think it actually wails, though.
Well, that would be sad then. This is not a misnomer. It doesn't do it. Oh, I don't know right now.
I mean, why would they name it the Wailing City if it doesn't wail?
What if it's like a whale city?
And like, I'll pull my head
Wait.
out. My eyes are very wide. What if it's like,
What if it's like a whale or like a city of whales? What if it's like, like inhabited by whales? And they're just spelling it wrong. Whales. The big fish.
I think we've established that nothing lives there, but that would be
That's what the
fascinating.
whales want you to believe.
Okay.
It's a conspiracy to keep people out of their city. And it's really kind of smart.
If
No
that
one
turns
would
out to
look
be
for
correct, the
whales.
entire chest of gold is yours.
I'm gonna
It's
hold
like
you
you're
to that.
daring. It's like you're daring the GM right now.
I absolutely want to see that.
I'll just wait for Carley to throw her papers over the shoulder. I don't need this part.
Joke's on you. I don't have anything written on this paper.
Yeah.
we
Sexy
get there,
orc.
right? We get there, and it's just a bunch of like well-dressed whales sipping tea. Oh crap! They found us.
This is like, you know what? Worth it.
And now you must never leave because
Right.
That's
Yeah,
why-
it's actually just this like whale utopia.
right. Roll new
For
characters.
those of you just joining us, there are not any whales.
Or are there?
it's just orcas.
No. Oh. Anyway, we walk in.
I couldn't I couldn't keep a straight face doing that. I'm so sorry. I started losing it.
Anyways, it's the morning. It's yours.
Well,
I
let's go.
heard you all talking last
Hey,
night,
whale.
even though I didn't want to. And you were talking about like the group, right? We should have a logo. If you just could have it like on our armor somewhere or something.
I like minor illusion, like a shield with an eye on it, like a fancy eye on it, like kind of like that.
Yeah, that was kind of creepy. Staring, it's just like always staring.
The letter I.
Oh god.
I retract my
As
statement.
an eye.
Yeah, it could be like that, but I mean, I could stand for anything. It could be like idiot or ignoramus or I know there's other I words.
Those
IPA?
2 examples?
Oh,
yeah, there you go.
No IPAs.
I'm just saying, why limit yourself to the literate, or at least mostly literate?
True. What?
Hey,
Do I
there's
need
another
to-
I word,
Progress.
illiterate.
Are we leaving today?
I'm
I
losing
think
brain
that's
cells, guys.
fine.
We were. We only have 2 weeks, and it's a long, long, long walk.
We should
I mean,
get
not that long.
Not for you. It's a long
Yeah.
walk for we.
Is that a
You can-
hint? Or
you could ride on Droovin with me as long as you don't like leave that spory dust all over you. It took me like hours to brush it out of his hair last time.
You can ride on me too.
Okay.
Come on.
He like waddles over and starts climbing up.
Yeah. Perfect little handhold and footholds in the bark armor.
Or on your antlers.
Absolutely.
I just love the fact
Oh
that he
my
can like
God,
sit in your antlers.
I
Well,
pictured
also,
the,
like, if like you just tuck your face in and it just looks like mushrooms. It's
Yeah,
no
same.
longer visible
On
as a
the-
person.
I imagine like her armor looks like bark, and you can just look like mushrooms growing off of her back.
Nice.
Hidden.
Yeah, exactly. Camouflage.
Did you all take care of
Yeah.
provisions and stuff already, or do we need to do that before we go?
We got some stuff. Oh, the potions. Who needs like health potions and who needs stamina potions?
A stamina potion.
You have one or you need one?
I have one.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind carrying a health potion, whether it's for myself or to give to somebody else.
I think that's wise.
Will allow you guys to be like flexible if you want those 5 things to just be in a pool and then just decide that you have it.
Okay,
On
that would
you
be
in
better
the
than
moment.
debating it right now. Okay.
Like, I'm totally down for that. For like, you just be like, I'm taking one of those health potions now because I have it. Golden.
We got how many health potions did we get and how many
3
stamina
health
did you get?
potions. 3 health potions, 2 stamina.
Gotcha.
And a glass of milk. A bottle of milk.
Proud of.
Was that for Kuvun?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Has that been administered to the kitty?
I think we gave it to him last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless we
No,
don't.
did you give it to him? Because last that had it,
Was Triss.
Triss had it, but I don't know if she fed it to Kuvun.
Oh, I figured I did because we asked for it for him that night. I didn't specify.
Oh, well, you can feed it to him now if you want.
Sure, breakfast.
You would be happy.
So none of you asked, and none of you know, but that bottle of milk does do something. It's not
Oh.
just milk.
As long as you
It
are
will,
killing my animal already, he's just like,
No.
it's poison, your cat dies.
No, functionally it will give Kuvun advantage until his next long rest.
Sweet. Let's
Ah,
go get in a
sick.
fight.
I think that's the best person to give it to.
Yeah.
So
Do we need to get
Hello.
grease for Jim?
No, I'm ready to earn my calluses. All provisioned up and ready to go.
But we just got the last one buffed out. Are you sure?
What, you got something really important to live for? Come on.
I'm just saying.
Yes, but
Don't go whining about being all scratched up and stuff.
So, you guys start heading out of town?
As we walk through the common room, and there's like people eating breakfast and stuff, I stop next to like a long table that has a bunch of adventurers that are like gnawing away at their bacon and their ham and their eggs and stuff, and I just glare at them.
Animals are friends, not food.
They all look at you and then look down, and they're just like,
I would kick them,
You're
but
a funny little one.
there's a lot of them, and I can count mostly.
So what did you do?
I just glare. I was going to kick them, but then I counted, and I realized there's more of them than there are of me. So I'll just glare at them, and I'll walk by Jim.
Next time we see those guys, they're going down. I'm gonna kick their butts. Next time, I'm giving them some time to live out their last days.
They're all just laughing. Still at the table.
I appreciate
you guys
that
are-
you don't need to eat anymore.
So you don't need to eat?
Jim, you don't need to eat anymore, do you?
Sure I do.
What do you
How do
mean?
you think I keep this gorgeous figure? Flexes his left arm.
I've never seen you eat. Is there a reason for that?
Some people have described it as unnerving.
Can I watch next time?
I don't see why not.
Great. So you guys start heading
This
out
is
of
totally walk and
town.
talk.
I
I have the skill. It's on the sheet.
Yeah, it's like a 2 to 3 day walk to there. There is a road that leads out of town that then starts heading up towards the manufactory. And then there's like a broken down, like kind of like half, like more like a trail than a road that starts leading in the direction of the Whaling City that you guys can follow if you wish.
Do we have to go through the manufactory?
No, the manufactory
No.
is north. So
Okay.
the road curves out of the city and heads north, and then there's a like a broken down kind of trail that continues east towards the Whaling City.
Okay.
Vaguely in the direction of the Whaling City. You guys would know it actually ends up following down and splitting through the broken spine and heading towards Armelia on the other coast. So at some point you will no longer have a trail.
I can lead,
Yes.
I guess. Because I've traveled a lot. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean the first day is pretty easy travel because it is part of this trail that cuts through. So the first day goes pretty easily. Unless there's anything specific that you guys would like to do during the day.
Cort will keep an
Unfortunately,
eye out.
Oh, go ahead.
Cort will keep an eye out from Triss's shoulders, looking for places where if he was going to try to ambush somebody.
Oh,
You know.
for sure. Give me an instinct roll.
Okay. And I'll probably spend one of my hope down for in the weeds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nine, 10, a whole 11 with fear.
All right. Well, I'll take that fear. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot of super great ambush spots because you were not in a forest on this
Sure.
road. You're away from the road a little bit, so there's an open bit of space before the forest begins to the south, and there's open space that kind of goes further north. So for this little bit, there's not a lot of great hiding places unless magic is involved in cloaking someone. But there doesn't seem to be anybody following you. There doesn't seem to be any issues. After you break away from the main road, you haven't really run into anybody during this first day. So it's coming down to night's falling. You guys, the forest isn't too far away if you want to make camp in there, or you can camp somewhere else.
Have we been through this area before?
Cort has, and Grace has.
Okay. Just along the way, I would have asked if there's anything we should be...
This is exactly the path that Cort kind of took to get to Shield Harbor.
Is there anything we should be watching for as far as, besides ambushes, but animals or anything that we can forage on the way? Anything that we can make use of?
You're more than welcome to try and forage. It is the edge of the forest, so there's not a whole bunch of animal activity. That starts a little further in. But there are plenty of plants and stuff if you want to try and forage for something. Are you foraging for something specific? Food, herbs?
Yeah, I'd probably go I'd probably ask anyone who's been through here if they know if there's berries that are non-poisonous, nuts, plants, etc., and then try and forage that kind of stuff.
That would be Cort. That would be a Cort question.
Okay.
Well, it's a Cort and Triss, because this is the edge of the giant forest that makes up where her home came from. So a lot of the forest is similar, if thinner, than where
How
Triss
did I
is
not
from.
notice that there was a cat right there?
She's been there for a bit.
She's been there for a while.
It's
She's
Cort.
wearing black, and
It's-
she's a black cat.
It's Cort on Triss's
Right.
shoulder.
She's being clingy.
Aww.
Hi.
She's in a new location. Of course she's clinging. But so the two of
The
you
boy.
would know that there are berry bushes that grow, but you would need to be careful when trying to forage for them because there are both poisonous and healthy varieties that look vaguely similar.
Okay. I'll go forage for that and rely on their knowledge of what's safe to eat.
Yeah. Give me an instinct roll.
Is that me or is that Cort?
You're the one foraging,
Okay.
so you are giving me the instinct roll.
Do I get help from Cort because of the information?
If Cort wants to spend a hope, Cort can help.
Oh, that's right.
We could point out what I've heard your type eat.
I mean, I eat anything except for, meat.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and spin down another hope.
Okay.
So you can roll a d6 for me,
Okay.
Jason, and you'll roll the 2d12 and add your instinct.
Am I rolling the d6 or is Jason rolling it?
Jason rolls it. He's helping you.
All right, so
I'm not helping you well.
I mean, I rolled a d6 with my dice, and it was not that helpful either. So this is a 15 with fear.
And a 1
Thank
from
you.
me.
That's what I rolled. So 16 total.
Yeah. So you start moving into the woods. Start looking for berries. Are any of you following Gnots as they venture into the forest as the sun is going down?
I assume I
looking
have
for
to help.
berries? I mean, you don't have to. You could have explained what they look like beforehand. So it's up to you whether you want to follow Gnots into the
Yeah.
woods.
We should probably employ a buddy system, just in case.
So just the two small
I mean,
ones
I'm-
are going into the
I'm
woods?
a built-in
I'll
buddy
go.
system.
I'll go with them.
What about Grace and Jim?
Are we still
I'm
technically on the
leading.
road, or do we have a camp?
Thus far, it is coming down to the time to camp, and Not started asking about berries and has gone off into the wood to look for berries.
Oh,
The way I understood it, like the forest is parallel to us, right?
Yes,
So
the
I'm just
edge of the
moving-
forest is parallel.
I moved off and am moving with you all, but I'm in the forest, like looking along the way. You could probably see my bright blueness moving through the trees. But if you're on the road,
So, Grace and Jim, have you moved into the trees or are you staying on the road?
I'm probably turning around to ask the group what they want to do, but since I'm
Half your
leading,
group has moved into the trees.
turn around and
Um,
Triss would just kind of point and be like, "I'm gonna follow them just in case."
do we follow?
I'm happy holding down the fort here at camp. Just holler real loud if you're getting
We
killed,
don't-
okay?
Do we have camp?
I did ask if you wanted to make camp, and if so, if you wanted to make it in the trees or just on the road. So if you want to have said that happened before he went into the woods, and your
Yeah.
camp is on the road, or is your camp in the trees, and then he goes off? Or did he just go off before? Did she just go off before you made camp?
I would say maybe camp in the trees and then go off.
I would
to
say
the
camp in
forest.
the trees.
Great.
Well.
So you've set up camp in the trees, and then Nuts goes off to go look for berries. Currently with Cort and Triss and Kuvun. Yeah, you're looking like very excitedly for berries, and you spot like a splash of color, and you hop that way, and you're like, oh, that's the poison one. And then you keep going, and you keep going, and you're going a little just deeper every time in your little sporadic zigzag into the woods.
berries are very
you
exciting.
have yes, you have currently the four of you have now left the eye line of the camp. But very shortly after that, you find a bush and you're like, this is it! This is it! And you're like checking back and you're pretty sure that this is the right bush of berries.
Is them, right?
We think so.
Can I confirm these are edible berries?
These are edible berries.
I mean, technically, any berry is edible. It's just whether it kills you afterwards.
Anything's edible once. Yeah, those are fine.
I'll just like start hoarding as many as I can into like a pouch or whatever to bring back for everyone.
Okay. Yeah, as you're like scrambling and just picking all the berries and putting them into a pouch, I'm Cort and Triss and Kavoon to give me a instinct roll.
This is low light area at the moment.
Free an
right?
arm.
Yes, it is low light, so you can take your advantage.
Okay.
Alrighty.
For Kavoon, what do I roll?
You still do a 2d12 instinct, and then they have advantage because you roll instinct every time for them, I believe.
Do I
It
use
should say on there.
Do I use my number?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, it should say on the sheet, but I'm pretty sure it's your instinct roll, and then you get advantage. Kavoon gets
Okay.
advantage.
I don't know what this is for, but can I argue to add Heart Guardian experience because it's in a forest?
Holy
It's in your forest, so
Yes.
you absolutely can.
Okay, hold on.
So that's a
Gotta
crit.
Be strategic about how I move. Oh shit.
Nice.
26.
So you can take a hope and clear stress. You don't
A
have to tell me
first
the
crit?
number. A crit is a crit. So you get to take a hope and clear a stress if you have any.
Okay.
I rolled
what
really
did,
well, but
what did you get?
So 22.
Nice.
However, that is a 12 on the fear die.
Okay, I will take that fear. Thank you.
16 with fear here.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. I love the fear.
We
I love all
started
of
with
the
so
fear.
much hope, and now we're just like throwing fear her direction.
Hopefully we've capped her out a long time ago.
I love the fear. No, I have not capped out yet. Because
Wow.
you would be able to see if we were at a table, this would be like kind of public how much fear I have. I currently have 9 of a possible 10 fear. And I will let you know when I
no.
spend the fear, and I have not thus far spent any fear on anything. Until now. So Kavoon's ears just prick right up and starts pointing like behind the bush that you're currently gathering berries from. And the two of you also notice these 2 shadows coming out from deeper in the woods. And they're moving towards you. So, this would be when we're going into combat. So I am just going to spend some fear to activate them. And then that's where we'll leave off the session because it's almost at our wrap time. So yeah, I'm gonna spend my fear. So there's 2 figures, so I only have to spend 1 fear. And I will spend the 1 fear to bring them in. So they're now the 2 of them. You can see them, and they are giant saber-toothed bears.
Oh
No, these
no!
fuckers again.
I love it.
We got this. Go ahead,
Chris,
Trish.
And they're yeah, and they the 2 of them are within close range of the 4 of you in this forest.
I just turn around and I'm like stuffing berries in my mouth while I've got others in the bag, and I'm just like,
What? I'll share some with you.
And they are just for contextual space, they are just outside of very far range for Jim and Grace. You would have to spend some movement to get into the scene to be able to do anything to them, but they're just outside of very far range. But yeah, that's what we'll leave off this session. You guys had such good roleplay. I didn't wanna intrude, and I didn't have to because it's a series.
Hooray!
So you guys get combat next time.
Looking forward to it.
Right?
Yeah.
So at the end of a episode, we'll just do a because we did introductions at the beginning. We'll just do a round of announcements if anyone has anything. So if you have something coming up that you want to share, I'm always all about sharing that stuff. So if anyone wants to be like, "Hey, I'm streaming over on my channel," or "I'm doing this thing over here," or "I have something coming out," please take the time to do so. So if you have something, go ahead and shout it out.
Well, I'm playing with you
That's right.
next month, technically, even though it's like a week away.
Which game is that?
That's the D&D one shot, right? Or is that the end of the month? All the dates have
27th.
changed on so
right?
many things.
Yeah, this last
In a
week,
month,
me
I'm
being
playing
sick.
some D&D.
This last week, me being sick has rescheduled 3 games. No, 4 games with that one. So yeah, April 27th is Encephalon Gorgers on the Moon, our D&D one shot written by Frog God Games, and then
Yeah, I'm playing a kobold sorcerer.
which is going to be super fun.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, join us at, let's see, I'm doing some time conversions. That's 9 p.m. Eastern as we do Eberron episode 1. It's Eberron the Night Watch Affair, where Miko, who's been on the channel before, is going to come back and run a 2-shot Eberron mini campaign. It's this Saturday and next Saturday. And then, let's see, Wednesday.
Thursday.
Oh, and of course, more Daggerheart every
More
Friday,
Daggerheart,
guys.
right.
Unless we're sick.
So Wednesday the 3rd, we have For the Horde of the Dragon Queen. And Thursday the 4th, we have Trouble Brewing, our rescheduled from last night, one-shot Pathfinder game. And then next Friday, come back for episode 2 of this. It's going to be awesome.
Yahoo!
Any other announcements?
Looking forward to making the coffee on Thursday.
Nice.
It's been out for a while, but Monday's the 1st anniversary of my book coming out.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Oh.
That's a heck of a milestone. I guess that's the word
Yeah.
I wanted to use there. That's awesome.
Yeah. So
Can you
I
link your
published
book
the
in chat?
I don't know how to do that, but I can attempt to find it on Amazon and post it.
Yeah,
For you.
should be able to throw that
But
in
yeah.
the. Are you in the Twitch chat right now?
I am not.
Oh,
Um.
throw
But
it in
I will send-
Discord, and
Yeah.
I'll share it.
So I decided very spontaneously to write a book of poetry, and
Fantastic.
it's under a pseudonym. Hold on, let me find it.
While you're doing that, I'm going to look at who we're going to raid.
Yes, raid.
Vulcan Myth is still going. We're going to raid over to Vulcan Myth once we're wrapped up here.
Yeah.
And thanks everybody for joining us for the premiere episode of Daggerheart: The Broken Spine. Going to be a ton of fun.
Mm.
Hopefully my little blue goblin is not driving you all insane quite yet.
Doesn't
That's supposed to be
die
episode 3.
via
What?
alcohol poisoning. Doesn't die via
Right.
alcohol poisoning.
Yeah, it's not gonna be the mysteries in the city. It's gonna be alcohol.
Right. All right.
Let me know if that link works.
Yep, it did.
It did.
Okay,
It
cool.
did. Boo-doo-boo-doo-boo-doo-boo-doo.
Voice.
So
Yeah.
I sent it over.
Nice. I grabbed a shortened
you.
version, but they're both valid. There you go.
They both work.
Awesome. So hang out while we raid over to Vulcan Myth. And thanks again for joining us tonight.
Yeah.
We will see you
See
next
what
time.
happens.
Bye, everybody.
Take care.
Good night, folks.